I absolutely encourage our tai tamariki to become engaged in civics education, but also to understand more about the machinery of local and central government, so we become a bit more politically astute, but also, become a part of the team. And get behind those that are doing the mahi, or flex a little bit. Go to the hui and understand what's happening in our environment. There's a lot going on in Whangarei now, there's a lot going on in Tai Tokiro, and there's national policy being implemented. So as young people, let's go to the hui, plug in, see what's going on. I've got some expertise, what can I contribute? Can I be a technician? Can I help? Can I do some thinking? It's an exciting space, there's a lot to do, and certainly we need capacity, and that's what young people give. So there's differences in the way with which we can become politically active. Sometimes we are the technicians, we're the guys who know the data, we know the policy, we know what's happening. Other times we are the front person, and being a front person we need good information, we need a team around us. So in establishing where your strength is and what your role could be in a campaign or in a kaupapa, if I think about water, if I think about takutai moana, if I think about our SNA hikoi last year, people came from different perspectives, they all had different impacts, and then it's finding voice and how can you be a part of that. So I think as young people it is about understanding what gets you going and where do you want to place yourself in the continuum of contribution, because capacity and capability is really important. And so grow your capacity, grow your understanding, and then put yourself out there and offer to help. So I've stood both in Northland Regional Council and Whangarei District Council, and I know that it takes a team to mobilise a campaign, but also it's financial contribution. It's people who can walk the streets, people who can put a t-shirt on or put up a billboard. So there's different ways to reach. But also in the changing environment, we now have Māori seats and we have our mainstream seats, these wards that are across our district. Both Northland Regional Council, Whangarei District Council, across the motu, we're seeing our Māori wards come forward. Now, if we think about Māori voice, we want to see quality candidates who know their stuff, who can get in there and hit the ground running. So I have a bit of kōrero whakatūpato around that in terms of knowing the space you're going into. Do you know the Resource Management Act? Do you know local government? Do you know the machinery and some of the key issues that are affecting Māori right now? That's for Māori wards. But we also want Māori voice in the mainstream seats as well. So we can amp up our Māori voice. So it is about collaboration, but also looking as Māori to work smart and be strategic, because we don't want to split our votes e tātoma. Please don't split the vote. So that means we have to talk to each other. We have to identify key talent who have the right attributes that we can get behind, who have skills, experience, but also know it's not a training ground. We need to be ready to go. And there are forums already in Whangarei, like Te Huinga and Te Kāriarea, our standing committees, our hapu relationship boards that can provide that really key skills and experience that a person might need. So I'd be shadowing all of our hapu leaders right now, going to all the hui, absorbing, sitting in council, listening to the debates, but also look at your role and function, because it's just about timing. And I think that, we have to be smart and wise in the way that we put ourselves forward for this election. There was a challenge for myself. I stood for Northland Regional Council, Whangarei Urban Ward, and we coordinated as Māori. So we had individuals who had been having hui, and we all got into our different wards and we had a plan. And then a whanaunga, just in that last week, an auntie put her name in. And it was so sad, because she was at all the meetings. You know what I mean? And so, even though I was the identified person for Whangarei Urban, then you saw 1,000 votes go elsewhere. And that was disappointing, because we could have been closer to getting in. So e tātou we need to communicate with each other, reach out, understand who is talking, and also call some hui of our own to say, actually I'm really keen and interested in this space, who else is? Ask the pātai, because ultimately you can have the best well-laid plan and then someone else stands. But e tātou all voices matter, and all voices are important. So what we have in local government, to be honest, is retirees or self-employed. And they're from a particular age group. And me, in my 40s, my voice isn't necessarily being heard as a resident here in Whangarei. I'm a taone, but then also from my taha Māori. So that's why it is important that we do seek to amplify our voice through the Māori wards, but then to punch above our weight and go into the mainstream wards. I think e tātou mā, another thing is to vote. So we have a disengaged Māori population. Why should I vote? What does my vote matter? And often, because I don't see myself in local government, why should I bother voting? Are they really going to be my voice? Will they listen? But e tātou mā, if we don't vote, then we are vulnerable. So we need to vote, mobilise our votes. We need to understand who's standing, challenge them on their ethos, their kaupapa, and see whether you even want to vote for them. Because don't just vote because it's in alphabetical order. Don't just vote for the name that you recognise, because we have had the status quo of some of our councillors that have sat at our teepu for far too long. So change is coming, but certainly we need to mobilise our whānau to plug in and vote as well.